steaming pile of horse dung that is beyond the bridge. Welcome to Beyond the Bridge. This is episode 17, part 2, and we are joined
What?
here by Draw, Kasham, Tel, and Rakust, who are about to venture forth. They have reached the border of Haven, and they are surrounded by a cavalcade of horses and caravans, and little guys with crates full of merchandise they want to sell in Blood. Okay, but so you're gonna
Is
hop
that
on
how
a
they speak in
caravan,
Etterplot now, please?
huh?
Is that how they speak in Etterplot now, please?
No, of course not. In Blood they speak like this, and I will never manage to keep up the accent for more than one sentence. Hello there, and welcome to Blood. It is a wonderful place where if you talk to someone for too long, their Russian accent comes out, and then it's like, what the hell? I can't. I hate you so much. But yeah.
You came up with this.
That's because I enjoy saying eat the blood. I didn't know how hard it is to carry that through the entire vocabulary. It's just like, shoot me.
Yeah, blame yourself.
I will blame myself, but I will blame. I will blame myself, but I will punish you. So, all I really need to know is who's the scout. Who has the best perception out of you?
I think that's typically me. I think I have +5 for stealth and perception.
You do it.
Yeah,
And the plan is
again.
just to head to Blood and pick things up from there.
Yes.
Okie dokes. So I think the journey starts off pretty well, and you begin trundling out, heading west to Blood. And I think we can cut through you traveling through the fields around Haven. You probably pass a bunch of warriors on horseback, and you recognize them as the Ebonwing mercenaries that have been working for the Duke. Some of the townspeople say that they haven't really been doing any work since they were hired. They've done pretty much nothing except piss off the militia. They got to Carlo's bandits after they were destroyed, and then burnt the place down. They wandered around a bit near the Fey problem until it got dealt with. They've been very effective at waiting for problems to resolve themselves. But now they've been given horses. The Duke's invested into the Ironbreed stables, and there are mounted patrols around Haven. Things are looking up, and people in the surrounding area are really going, "Oh, Haven's doing a good job." So, as you exit the fields around Haven, you get back onto the Uden Plains, and it's grassland rolling around. The wheels continue, and this small caravan or so is being dragged by a pair of horses with a couple of guards around, and it's going along. And I think we look up, and the sky's already a sunset. It's coming down. The horses are weary. They're getting unhooked from the carts, and a small campfire's glowing. So does someone want to do a scene for inspiration as you sit round the campfire?
Not everyone at once.
I think I still have
I
mine.
picked them the last time, so you guys can. No, inspiration doesn't carry over sessions.
Oh, it doesn't?
No.
I've ruled it doesn't. Because otherwise I
probably
wouldn't get you to do this, because nobody ever spends the damn stuff.
It's true.
It's like, I have inspiration. Now so hoard it forever. Yeah, so does someone want to do a scene for inspiration? This can be a flashback of your background, like a little teaser of who your character really is. It can be a story you tell in character, or purely cognitive. Like, who wants to go?
I always got one if no one else wants, but I don't want to keep hogging that stuff.
I'll let you take it, or somebody else.
Yeah, you can do it.
Have a
you
good
can
one.
We're all too polite here. Okay, it will be more cognitive. You can see probably younger Asham, but his beard is still in full growth, full magnificence, pre-burn fire. And you can see him some sort of gladiatorial fighting pit. At the moment, there's no spectacle going on. It's just over there. There are some gladiators training. On the right side, there are some recruits watching and learning. And you can see Asham being faced by two wealthy-looking individuals, and one of them goes like, "So you see, next Sunday in the big fight, you put up a fight, and then round the halftime, you let yourself get hit on the back of the head and fall over. And this full sack of money is yours." You see Asham, "Well, I normally don't lose my fights. That's how I got to be the champion. But I'm a bit short right now. Half up front and I'll do it." And you can see them haggling for a while. And the scene cuts and you see the crowd is filling the ranks, and you see Asham standing there bare-chested in the middle of the pit, facing off what looks like 2 or 3 opponents wielding different gladiatorial stuff. The one has a net and a spear, the other one a short sword. And well, the scene goes on and you can basically see Asham beating the crap out of all of them, not losing as he was supposed to. The crowd goes wild, and you see Asham going down to the pits where the gladiators retreat, instantly grabbing all his stuff that is in pre-packed backpacks and legging it. Yeah, that's basically how he got here.
Excellent. Always the entrepreneur. So, does anyone have a question for Mike about that scene? And he who asks the question gets the inspiration.
Can I ask it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So you're basically running away from this past deal, right?
Yeah. Turns out
Okay.
the wealthy individuals had connections at the imperial court, and they were not happy with Asham stealing their money and scamming them. So that's why he's beyond the bridge.
When did you start scamming people?
Well, was it really a scam though? It was a fair fight. He just took the money in front for supposedly losing, but then how is Asham to blame to being better fighter than the other 3? Was it a scam? I don't know. You tell me.
It's a double scam. You scam the scammers.
Is there a thing like a double scam? I don't know.
Is it the right thing to do? Betraying
Yes.
your word? Do you believe that you did the right thing?
Well, Asham is of the great opinion that he was a better fighter than the other 3, and so he deserved the money.
Okay.
Excellent. So, when we fade from that scene of Asham with the money bag heavy at his side, his packs already folded up, we fade in on Asham now. How's your coin purse looking?
100 and big.
So it's hefty. Is it fatter now than it was then?
No, probably not, because spreading out my investments and stuff. But the main difference is the beard is cropped and short and gnarly looking.
Okay. So it's probably then that you have a really large coin purse that's somewhat like it's got a lot of money in there, but to you it feels empty. So as we pan up
Could
and we
always
see
be bigger.
as we see the firelight flickering on Asham's face, what's your expression?
Greed. Pure greed.
Excellent. Okay, so the next day the caravan packs up and you continue on your way. And the day's travel passes without much incident. And before long you're getting close to reaching Etoblet, maybe another day or so. Okay. And you're travelling along when this is the third day of travel. You're travelling along. The sun is high in the air, and maybe you can even make out the familiar roads that lead to Etoblet. You're probably going past there's a small town, a little farming commune near Etoblet. The caravan's probably going past there, and as it does, it's out in the open here. Let me check the map and see what the terrain's actually like near there.
Mostly plains between us and that.
Yeah. It's mostly plains everywhere, really, that people have gone. I mean, people have looked at a couple of the small forests, but no one's been to any of the big ones. Yeah, so you're out in the plains between the small farming village and Blood. When Tal, you spot some figures. There's a pack of. At first, you think them to be animals because they're wearing these furs on their back like cloaks. At first, you think them to be animals because they're like prowling closer, like a wolf pack. But as you spot them, you realize that they are men wielding weaponry, and they are moving through the long grass, approaching the caravan closer. No one else seems to have spotted them, and you can count maybe a dozen of them. Easily enough to overwhelm this small caravan's complement of guards. Were you not here?
Dun, dun,
It's
dun.
true. I'll alert my companions and the guards to them. Like,
How do you alert them? Do you point them out or do you scream or?
I probably don't scream, but I'm like, I think there are bandits coming for us. Be on guard.
I suggest we act like we haven't noticed them and then whack them once they get close.
I'm fine with that,
You don't-
just as long as everyone's prepared.
Can I try to see what kind of guys they are, being a barbarian myself, having seen some of the Outriders myself?
Yeah. Give me a perception test to look at them.
Advantage because they've been pointed out to me?
No. This is like you're
Okay.
trying to notice details about them.
10.
Yeah, that's good enough to get what you want. They're being stealthy, and they're wearing these bestial furs on their back, but they don't seem very physically tough. They seem scrawny, more slender than bulk.
More druidy than barbaric.
Yeah, I mean they don't seem like hardened battle barbarians of death.
So, how close are they?
I mean they're approaching, so however close you let them get.
Right, well, when they get in range, I'd like to throw my trident at them. I don't want to.
Already? How about one or two of us sneak off and get them from the flank or something?
I'm not
Before-
good
Yeah,
at
sure. I won't be doing any sneaking. I'm way too noisy.
Yeah, Asham would like to try and, like, being small and all, like, maybe jump off the wagon and let them get some feet off and then go around the side, so flanky.
Okay. So Asham, make a stealth check. Is anyone following Asham's lead and breaking off?
I'll follow a sham.
No,
Okay.
I'll stick with the caravan.
Tal, make a stealth check as well, and let's see how good they are at spotting you. I mean, they already know you're there, so I feel like they should probably have advantage. Maybe it shouldn't be a
I
stealth
don't
check,
feel
but
like
I'll just give them a normal d20 and
Being
see how it
overly
goes.
sure of themselves.
Yeah, I think they see you breaking away from the caravan, and they probably wait. They're like, oh wait, some are separating. Yeah, the caravan's less defended now. And as you like leave their field of view, they completely forget about you. So as they surge forward and burst up, I think Asham and Tal, you're going to get a surprise round. The caravan guard are going to focus on protecting the caravan and its goods itself, so they're not going to be involved in this fight. So we'll move you over to the fight mat, and we'll see how this bloodbath goes. Let's that one, yeah.
While sneaking Tal, Asham is making weird finger motions to you.
Wait, what were they again?
Something like along those lines. You don't know what it means, he doesn't know what it means, he's seen people do it and it worked out so far.
She just draws her sword and nods.
Tal, you might want to give yourself some health.
I would like some health.
Uh,
I could zoom as well.
And then if everyone wants to just click themselves and give them an initiative roll, that's good. You should see your tokens now. So I think let's draw a kind of caravan-y area. So that's a kind of caravan with some wheels.
Your wheels are square.
Obviously they're viewed top down, of course they're square. Duh. And some horses, which are also square because horses are square. Everybody knows that.
Everyone knows that.
So Tal and Asham, you've like snuck off to the side. So let's give you a bit of dupe. And then these guys are probably going to burst out. Let's see, around that range. Yeah, there we go. So if you want to just roll up initiatives. And
Yeah, that surprise round doesn't get me anything. My tiny legs don't carry me that far.
Well, you know, sneaking away from the objective, it's totally beneficial for you. And then that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Well, it worked out otherwise in my mind.
It's working out pretty well.
Poor initiatives. Roll better.
Yes, it does.
I hope this is not indicative of how the battle's going to go for them. Probably is, though. Let's be honest. These guys do. Okay. So, these bedraggled people in bestial furs, like, burst out of the long grasses to your complete surprise and begin charging forward towards you, hooting and hollering, and it almost sounds like they're trying to imitate some sort of animal, but it's not a very good job. They aren't armed with any bows or crossbows or anything. They only seem to have like these swords, and the swords aren't like particularly big or menacing either. They're scimitars. So, Tal, you're up. What do you do? You've got a surprise round on these guys. They don't know you're there. They've forgotten about you entirely.
Do any of them look to be some sort of leader?
No. Like they all are dressed pretty identically. They've all got these curved swords. They're wearing kind of scraggly clothing, almost like if you imagine robes that have gone through a shredder, and then they've got this beast fur on their back.
All right. So I think I'm just going to move up my standard move speed and chuck a dart at the nearest person.
Go for it.
That would be with advantage?
Yeah, they're surprised. They've forgotten about you entirely. They're not that good, man. They're just not that good.
Excellent. Very good. Advantage
With
helps
advantage. Here. Ooh, that comes in handy there. And you're just throwing this at E?
Yep. Just chucking it at E.
Okay. So I think E is completely taken by surprise. The heavy darts bites into his shoulder, blood spills out, and you see his arm go limp.
Fantastic.
And he takes 7 damage. Okay, dokes. Cool. And Asham, what you do?
I start legging it.
Hoof, 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 hoof.
Double speed.
Do you rage?
Tiny legs. Not yet, because I have to hit someone to keep it. Wait, I actually get one more, do I? There we go. Yeah, I don't rage yet, but I start screaming.
Okay. And that's the surprise round. And to the top of the order, G. G runs at Asham. He's like, oh no, a threat has appeared. And he charges at you, swinging his small sword, and you see a look of violent desperation in his eyes. His blade cuts into the grass and throws mud up in your face. Drock, what you do?
Well, I'll have a throw at EF with my trident.
Okay. You gonna move up to get some better range on that?
No.
Okay, so your trident sails ungainly through the air and sinks into the clod beside E. Or F, even, sorry. Tal, what you do?
Alright, I think I'm just gonna step up next to G, and I'll do my short sword and martial arts. Nothing, no special attacks, just
Okay.
the standard.
It's a quick 1-2. The short sword,
Quick
like,
one too.
slashes into his leg and he goes like down onto one knee, and the roundhouse kick slams him in the side of the head, crumples to the ground, dead. You can see his teeth are like shattered and his tongue's 5 feet from his body.
And I will spend a chi point to dodge for the turn as a bonus action.
Okie dokes. Let's give you a ninja. Boop. You're dodging. Rakust.
Oh, fantastic.
You're muted.
Yeah. Good catch.
Sorry, I'm muted. I'm gonna move up there. Do they have any ranged weapons or just
No,
a
they
scimitar?
Just the
just have
swords.
these like curved swords. They look pretty wicked and cutty, and they're
All
wearing
right.
like tattered robes with these beast furs on their back.
I'm gonna attempt to provoke them by. They were trying to mimic an animal, right? Which animal was it?
Make a nature check
Nature.
with disadvantage
I'm not-
because they're not doing a good job of it.
All right.
Like they're
I have
really not
-1.
doing a good job of it.
Too bad
7.
it's with
You would guess it's something to do with the furs they're wearing, maybe? But like they are doing a terrible job.
I want to try and mimic the sound that they're doing.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
5.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be
Whether
performance though?
intentionally or unintentionally, they seem to take offense at this.
Good.
And E charges you. Whoop. And you see this like maddened desperation in his eyes. He swings the sword and he like grabs the scimitar two-handed and is just swishing it back and forth in front of him. It's a terrifying sight if you weren't a battle-hardened warrior. To you, it just looks like inexperience. Asham, what you do?
Since you took my target away, I'm gonna keep walking. This time I go into a rage, double go up. I go right in the middle of them and scream, "Leave one alive, but don't expect me to leave one!" And start swinging aggressively with my great axe.
Okay, V charges you. That's not a hit, is it?
Nope.
So I think the scimitar like bites into your flesh, and like it is that moment where the blade pulls out and there's meant to be that like big spray of blood, and then the camera like super focuses on it and like a tiny bead of sweat trickles down your arm and the muscle just bulges. And then the next one attacks you. Okay. The next one attacks you. Boop. Okay. Next one attacks you.
I thought I provoked them.
Yeah, until the Sham ran in. And you're not raging yet, are you?
I am. I went
You
into
are
rage
raging?
this time. Yeah, I said I went into a rage and started screaming.
Excellent. So you're going to take, like, no damage? Oh.
I don't
So
expect to.
he swings in his scimitar, and finally a blow manages to cut through your thick hide, and you take 2 points of damage. N is going to charge for Koost. Boop.
You hit like a girl!
Oh, wait, that's damage. Let me try that again.
Tal growls at you
yeah,
as
yeah.
you say that.
Misses.
Like a weak, non-elven girl.
Charges Rakust. Rakust, you are.
That hits.
So the blade manages to find a gap in your armor and cuts into you, and you feel like a slight burning sensation as you take 4 points of damage. Q? He's going to charge Rakust as well. Ooh, 18?
18 hits. Yeah.
Ah, excellent. And like this guy charges in, and he comes careening around the side, and he goes, "Oh, go, go, go!" and slices in 4 points of damage. And then X is going to gang up on Asham. And I think X, he's going to just try and body check you. So this scrawny runt just like runs at you with his scimitar and doesn't even bother swinging it. He just slams his shoulder into you. Let's see how well that goes. Roll a athletics check. I say,
You really
already knowing the outcome.
I bulge my muscles and he bounces off.
Yeah, so he just slams into you, and you probably just grab him around the waist and like throw him away. But he spends his turn trying to make an opposed athletics. So Drock, back to you. What do you do? You can see these bestial attackers have just like pounded onto the two warriors, Rakust and Asham.
I'll move down to here and have a swing at Q.
Okie dokes. Roll it up. Yeah, so you swing your blade down, chunks into his shoulder, and then he like crumples to his knees. And as you pull the halberd out, there's just this great gout of blood, and he topples down, no longer among the living. Tal?
Excellent. Alright, I am less ninja now. But I'll probably head into the fray with the sham. And I will... Yeah, I'll probably, like, head in right next to him and attack you.
Go for it.
And short sword martial arts.
Cool. So it's almost identical. You like slice your short sword through his thigh, and like while he's falling, you're already bringing your knee up, so his chin connects with it, his neck snaps back, and he topples down, deceased.
Excellent.
Boop. Rakust.
I'm gonna strike R with the Smith Ire.
Okay, let me see. And the Smith's Ire slams into R. He has like no ability to defend himself. He probably like brings up his scimitar to like parry your blow, and you just end up slamming the scimitar into his shoulder. Bright spout of blood, and he staggers back and growls at you in this like low animalistic noise.
I try to growl back.
He like you can see like he's holding the scimitar with both hands because one of his hands has that dart that Tal stuck in him, and he's just like it's almost like he's holding up the scimitar and the weight of his arm. He'll probably be better off holding it in his other hand, but he makes a swing at you, Rakust. Let's see how that goes for him. Ooh, and he managed
That's a good
to
hit.
land a hit. And once again, you feel that burning sensation as the blade cuts in, your own blood begins to soak through your armor. 5 points of damage. Asham, it's your turn.
Finally, I'll cleave V.
Okay.
Ooh.
P, you like lift
Nope.
up the axe, slam it down, and it hits the ground, and like the ground splits asunder. The planet cracks in half. You fall through it, fall out the other side. No, that doesn't happen, but you do miss.
As a bonus action, I want to act as if that was intentional and scream at them, "Drop it now or I'll cleave you!"
Okay. So V, like first of all, you do this, and you notice like there seems to be almost no response from them, and they just continue attacking you. V is going to attack Asham. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Missing horribly. F is going to attack Asham. Hitting.
Hit.
So Asham, like another one of these little curved blades, finds its way in, and it's like the scratch of an insect. You take 1 damage.
Ouchie.
P is going to attack Tal. So, like, P steps out of the way of this massive axe blow and then swipes at you, Tal. But
Yeah.
you're so nimble, it's like, whoosh. Oh, wait, you're not there anymore. N is going to attack Rakust. So, like, another bestial scream. The scimitar swings in. Hits you.
Yep.
Seems like N's got your number. He manages to find that... Oh, no. D20 is not the damage. He manages to find that kink in your armor, and you're getting cut down by, like, little tiny cuts, and you take 4 points of damage. R is going to attack Drock. Drock, are you AC 18 or 16?
16.
16, because you've got the halberd, so you don't have a shield, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, scimitar swings in, and you just kind of, like, parry it with the haft of the halberd, and it goes, like, swinging wide. You can see that the attacker doesn't have any real strength, so when you parry it, he, like, does that, like, stagger with a finish him animation kind of thing. X is going to attack a sham, and he's going to, like, he probably tosses his scimitar to one side, and, like, begins, like, beating himself on the chest, and goes, "Ow, ow, ow," and then just slams into you again. He's gonna, again, attempt athletics opposed by athletics. So, Asham, can you beat A? Yeah, of course you can. Why do I ask? So, like, he slams into you, and for a moment he begins to, like, lift you off your feet, as though his scrawny little body finally has the strength, and then you probably just, like, bring down your elbows on his back, and he, like, falls to the ground, scampers back on all fours, and, like, prepares himself for another go. Glory, it's back to you. What do you do?
Yeah, I'll retaliate against R.
Okay.
And I get to reroll that damage.
I mean, if you want.
That's interesting.
Okay, so you bring down your halberd and it sinks into R, and you just, like, rip a ragged hole through him. And as his cloth spills apart, you can see that he's got, like, some crude leather armor on underneath. And below that, a rib cage. And below that, organs. He topples back, no longer among the living. Ooh, and do you want to move up, or stay where you are? Because you've got reach with the
Yeah.
halberd.
I'll move up next turn.
Okie dokes. So, Tal, what you do? Back to you.
Alright. I will attack P, and I'll try and make non-lethal attacks if I do manage to drop him.
Okie
Try and
dokes.
just knock him out.
Okay. So,
He's out.
I think what you do is you, like, bring the short sword around with the flat of the blade and, like, slam it against the side of his face, and you see him, like, stagger, and as you
Yeah.
bring your foot round to, like, sweep his legs out from under him, you, like, bring the sweep too low and you hit a stone, and the stone, like, flies off into the distance, and he, like, manages to regain his senses. That was against P?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Rakust, what you do?
Alright, so I'm gonna strike N and use second wind.
Okay. So you slam your hammer into N, and for a moment you think it would have been really good if you had advantage from somewhere, but it, like, slams into him and you hear his shoulder dislocate, and his arm, like, flops wildly at his side, and he gives you, like, this maddened stare. And as a experienced fighter, you can tell that he's seriously balked, but doesn't seem to have any care for his own safety. So yeah, he is hit for a mighty 7. And you
No,
regain
oh,
7
yeah,
hit points. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, E. Like, this is the other guy who only has one good arm. He's got the dart sticking out of his right shoulder. He two-hands the blade and swings it at you again.
That misses.
Yeah, it's like boom, bounces off your shield. It's a complete whiff. A sham. Back to you. What you do?
Yeah, I recklessly strike my axe at V while
Okay.
looking at X and screaming, "You'll be next!" because he annoyed me.
Okay, so I think you, like, swing your axe at V, and V just, like, it catches him from below and just parts him, So his right leg and right shoulder full one side, his left leg and left shoulder full the other, and his head and spinal cord are just stuck on the end of your axe. He's kaput. Boop.
I'll leave
X,
X for me, please.
I
X
will.
just kind of goes "Argh!" and readies himself to like bring you down. F swings at you again because the swords will bring
You
down
have
the sham.
advantage.
Oh, advantage.
Yeah, I
Thank
recklessly
you.
attack.
Oh, reckless attack. Oh, yeah. He still doesn't injure you. Like he swings the blade into your arm, and it just like skitters off your thick hide. It's like skitter, 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 skitter. Frickin' natural armor.
It's been too long since I've played with a sham and seen things bounce off of him.
Yeah, whenever a sword actually cuts, I'll just pouch my muscles and it springs out again.
It's like that gif of when the guy cries and then he like goes nope, and the tear goes back inside him. You're like that, but
Sniffing it
with
up.
blood. So yeah,
I can
Tal,
feel the testosterone coming off me in waves.
Tal, P swings at you.
Alright.
He's whiffing. You can see he's quite disorientated from where you slapped him in the side of the head. N
good.
is going to attack Glory. Thung! Like again, you parry it with the halberd. He staggers back, and he's got his left arm like lolling at his side where it was like shattered by a warhammer. And X grits his teeth and attempts to bring the mighty Asham down. Asham, opposed
He
athletics.
dropped his. Oh,
yeah, he
okay.
dropped his scimitar like
Okay.
a
I
last
invoke
turn.
my inspiration on this one just for storytelling's sake.
Okay, bring it.
No!
Yeah, so like this guy grabs you round the waist, lifts you up over his head, and then just drops you to the ground. I think your
Third time's
axe
charm.
like skitters away outside your reach, and you're not down on the ground, and he's pinning you.
Doesn't matter. I would have dropped my axe anyway to deal with that guy.
Yes. So, Glory, what do you do? It's back to you.
Yeah, I'll have a swing at X.
Okay, dokes. At N.
Yeah, M, sorry.
So you swing at N, and he like steps up and tries to like wrestle with you for the control of the halberd, and you have to like kind of headbutt him to get him to back off, but you don't manage to land a solid hit. Tau, what do you do?
Alright. Now, X is on top of a sham, but he said to leave that one alone. So I think
Yeah.
I'll oblige him. I'm going to try another non-lethal attack on P.
Okie dokes. Go for it. Okay, so I think
Biffs
what
all
happens is you land a solid pair of hits against him and beat him around like a ragdoll, but he just doesn't fall unconscious. You see him like biff and baff around a bit, and he's like
Yeah.
a bit groggy, but you don't manage to drop him. Mechanically, you didn't hit.
Yeah.
Cool. Just because sometimes I describe things a bit too much and people are like, did I hit? Rakus,
No worries.
what you do?
Hello. I'm gonna non-lethally strike N. Hopefully
For
that'll
N.
bring him down.
Yeah, so you like lift up the warhammer, and he like brings his scimitar to block it, and I think you sweep the warhammer down, smash the scimitar in two, it falls to the ground. N is the one with the left arm that's completely balked, so I think you just slam the warhammer into his right arm, and it just like shatters and flops, and he looks at you like, you know, like a fish out of water for a sec, mouth open. And then you just kind of punt him in the face with your, do you wear gauntlets?
I don't think so.
Okay, then it's probably just like the bottom half of the warhammer, like the wooden haft. You just bash him in the face and he topples over. He is
Alright.
unconscious. Sleepy face. E, like, as you beat up his friend, like tries to just stab his scimitar into your back. And he manages.
Yep.
Wow.
I get him better over time.
And you take 3 points of damage.
They're learning.
Nah, just mob mentality. Enough rolls, some of them will hit. Asham, you're pinned to the ground on your back. This guy's on top of you, and now that he's on top of you, you can see he's like beating his chest and staring up at the sky, where the sun beats down on him brightly.
I want to bear hug him until either he falls unconscious or I break his spine.
Okay, then opposed athletics for you to get control of this thing.
Wrestling.
Yeah, so you like grab hold of him and begin squeezing the life out of him, and too late he realizes that just because he's on top of you doesn't mean he's in control, and he like begins to frantically like beat on your chest with his arms, but you've got him now. So next turn, if you're still in control of the grapple, you can start like choking him out and break his spine, and we'll see how that goes. F in the meantime is going to take opportunity of the advantage he has to attack Asham while he's...
Does he have advantage? Do I still count prone since I won the grapple?
You're tangled up. Like,
no, then it's fine, yeah.
You're fully focused on dealing with the guy that's on top of you. Even though you're now in control, you're still like, it's advantage.
I mean, you won't hit me anyway.
Oh, so much.
Oh! I said it! I jinxed it!
Okay, so I think while you're grappling him, like 6 damage, he like swings his scimitar down at your head. You barely manage to just move it to the side, and it like cuts a gash across the top of your scalp, and blood begins to trickle down into your eye.
Pride comes before the fall.
He is going to swing at Tal without advantage.
Right. Excellent.
Tal, that's a hit. First of the combat, I believe.
That is.
So the scimitar manages to find like a kink in your defense, but only manages to nick your side, so you take 2 points of damage and begin to trickle a little bit of blood. N is unconscious, so I'll remove them from the initiative. And X is going to try to regain control. Athletics, please, Asham. Can you beat a 7?
I have a +7.
I know. The moment, like I knew, the moment athletics v athletics were coming up, but had to do it. So yeah, like he begins beating on your chest, and probably like when you're distracted, when that blade comes in, tries to like grab you by the eyeballs and like dig his thumbs in, and I think you just like headbutt his hand and it like breaks. Okay, Glory, what do you want to do? Bearing in mind, N is unconscious.
Yeah, I'll go down, help Asham out with F.
Okay. What did F ever do to you? So you swing the blade at F, and it like hits him in the back, and you feel that kind of like soft absorbance that tells you that it's hit into armor, and you like pull it out, and you hear the sound of tearing leather, and he spins round to face you. Tal?
Alright, seeing that one has already dropped, I think I'm just gonna go for lethal on P.
Okey-doke.
And
Yeah, your short
The
sword
problem was
kills
the
him.
non-lethal part.
how's he looking at that one?
The short sword kills him.
Still up?
Like, you thrust the
short sword
short
kills
sword
him.
into his leg, and you hit an artery, and blood just spurts out. And, like, as you're readying yourself for the follow-up blow, you just see him topple to the side. Dead.
Alright.
So if you want to move and do your punch or kick.
I'm gonna
or headbutt
move and I'm
or
gonna
elbow.
do my flurry of blows for another chi point.
Okay.
So I'll do 2 attacks with my martial arts
On F,
on F.
describe to me how you take him out.
So I think he just kind of got bonked with the halberd, right?
Yeah.
I probably just like kind of do a little running jump at him and probably like just like bring my elbow down on him or something, and then some sort of follow up, probably a knee.
Okay. So you just leap
Probably
on
knock
him,
him over.
elbow into the
Yeah.
shoulder, falls down to the ground as you like land on him. You drive your knee into his back, and his spine shatters and topples forward. Okay, excellent. We can work with that. He's dead.
He's dead.
Rakust. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
I wanted to scream, but Asham's busy. I'll scream it anyway. Hey Asham, do you wonder if they still buy slaves in Haven?
Whoa.
What did he say? No?
No, I'm bear hugging. I hear you, but I can't answer. I'm muffled against the guy's chest. You hear me?
Alright, I'll still try non-lethally to kill Strike E.
Okay, ducks, go for it. Cool. So you bring the blow home, and he like steps back and it whiffs air, and then he steps forward again and swings at you, coming for blood, but finding
Fail.
nothing. So I think he like swings and like tears the scimitar out of his own hand because he's wielding it double-handed, and his right arm just kind of flops at the side limply, and the scimitar just goes off into the bushes. And then he turns to you, grabs the dart in his shoulder, rips it out, and he's going to try attacking you with it on his next turn if he's still around. Asham, you're in control of the grapple, so what do you want to do? You want to just like crack this guy's spine, subdue him,
Sounds
choke
good.
the air out of him?
Well, whatever happens first, he either flops unconscious or until it cracks.
Okay, make an athletics check, opposed by him, and we'll see what happens. 12. Ooh, can he make it?
No.
No, okay. So, what's your strength? It's +5, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got 20 strength.
Yeah, ridiculous. And you have rage at the moment as well. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, so I think you see like his eyeballs bulging, blood beginning to pool in the corners, and he like continues to strike at you, trying to like break free from the grapple. If you keep this up, he's probably gonna like pass out, and then if you keep it up some more, his spine's gonna break. He's not doing too well. Mechanically, you deal an unarmed strike and inflict 8 points of damage. But jeez, he's just gonna try and get control. So another athletics.
An 18.
Ooh. He's got you
Asham, what are
now.
you gonna do? Oh,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
mind.
No hope. Glory.
You're in
Yeah,
my
I'll-
backyard now.
Have a step this way and try to do a non-lethal strike on E.
Okie dokies. Make an attack. Yeah, so you like swing in for E, and he just like is attacking Rakust so fiercely, like he's pressing forward, that you like swing and it hits where he was because he's just like dancing around Rakust, stabbing at him with this broken dart.
Yes, I
Ow.
think the problem is we cannot fight non-lethally.
Yeah.
Tal?
I'm just not good at it. So what's the situation with X now?
X is
Asham
like,
has knocked him over.
no, X and Asham
I'm still
are like
bear hugging.
locked
I'm
in
squeezing
battle.
tight.
X is
X is
very
gasping for
clearly
air.
losing. He is barely standing a chance, if that. It's not going very well for him.
Okay.
He's maybe one turn left of consciousness if he can't beat a shaman in an athletics check.
I think Tal just tries to bonk him on the head, so
You have advantage,
knock
so
him
go
out.
for it.
yeah, I'll just martial arts, try and give him a bonk on the head.
Bonk. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the advantage, you've got it. So you like grab the guy's head and just like slam it into your hand, and he like collapses onto a sham. Bonk. A sham, you're now bear hugging an unconscious person. Poof.
Do I realize that he's unconscious though?
Yeah, you see like Tal just like bash his head into, like grab the back of his head and then slam it forward into Tal's hand and then drop him, and he just flops on you.
Where's the fun in that?
We have work to do.
Rakust?
I'm gonna keep trying non-lethally.
Okie dokies.
Bring him down.
There
Yeah,
you
so
go.
you like see this guy like stabbing at you with this dart, and I think what you do is you probably just step forward with your shield and let him attack you, and then just punch him in the face with the weight of the warhammer, and he topples back unconscious, no longer among the awake. Okay, so combat's over, unless Asham you want to choke the life out of this guy and break his spine. Do you?
I give him one last squeeze and then toss him on the floor.
Okay.
Like a parting hug. Then I look at Tal and say, I had him. No fun in this. Man.
Okay. So, what's the next course of action? What's the next thing you want to do?
I asked Asham if he heard me.
They never bought slaves in Haven as far as I know, Rakus. But nice idea. I like your entrepreneur spirit.
Well, I guess we're going to tie them up and put them in
I
in
would
the
like to talk
caravan.
to them. Maybe they could tell us where their friends are and where they store that looted goods.
Yeah, but I
mean,
guess we've knocked them unconscious, right? So we'd have to wait for them to wake up.
Get
Which
more
one of them
slaves.
looks the least wounded?
X. Because X actually got knocked out, like straight knocked out. N has 2 broken arms by Warhammer, and E has 1 arm that's just like dead where a dart hit it. X only got choked out and then bonked on the head with fists.
After throwing him to the ground, I pick him up again and start slapping him.
Okay, so I think like what you want to do is make sure they're secure and awake one for interrogation. So like the guards on the caravan are just like, one of them starts clapping, and then the others, and then there's like a cheer from the caravan and goes, "Oh boy, oh, well, I don't
Those
think
guys
they're going to
gave
be
me such
bothering the
trouble."
caravans anymore, are they?"
I don't see how those rabid dogs gave you any trouble in the first place.
Well, the stories were much worse. And they all like look at each other and go, "Oh yeah, apparently they fought like massive wolves, and they were very fearsome, and lightning crackled when they charged from the long grasses, and you know, and they begin passing back and forth, and you can very clearly tell that, firstly, caravan guards are not adventurers. They're just not. And secondly, the reputation of these brigands seems to have been doing most of the work for them. Like, caravan guards have been going, "Oh shit," and running away when they've come. So a couple of minutes pass, and your slapping awakes this guy, and you slap him. Make a insight check.
He's awake!
You slap him, and his eyes are rolled back into his skull as his lids open, and he looks at you, and he begins muttering something. You think he's about to cast a spell or something?
Yeah, then basically break his spine because I don't do magic.
So what do you do?
I hit him hard because magic. It's
Okay.
dangerous, guys.
Okay.
You want me to do a strength roll?
Make a strength check. We'll see if you just straight up kill the guy.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. So I think you do. You like punch
Well,
him,
we've got 2
and
more.
his nose breaks, and his head lolls back. And for a moment, you think you've just concussed him again. But when you like grab his head and pull it up, you can see just like blood just comes pouring out. You've obviously shattered this guy's nose and sent it into his brain. He's kaput. He's no longer among the living.
Guys, you saw it. This is a magic guy. Just watching out for you.
It's okay. We got 2 others. You're welcome.
But you're welcome for me saving you ass from magic just now.
I am.
I know my way around magic. I point at my fancy robes. Blood tattered as
And
they
you
are. How
see,
long does
like-
it take them to clean?
You look at your robes, and they're like soaked in blood. And as the sun like catches them, and people start looking at the blood, you see it like sparkle a bit, and then just kind of like slide off. And it looks like you
Magic.
stood in a pool of blood now, with like little
Does it look-
little lightning sparks jumping around in it.
Does it look like any of the other guys are going to wake up anytime soon?
They'll. I mean, if you want to wake one of them up, it's as much story narrative, really. I'm not going to wait.
Maybe
make
one
wait
of you
because
guys do the
waiting around
talking.
for them to wake up is, But
Yeah.
let's take a break right here, and we'll come back with waking them up. The question is, which guy do you want to wake up? Broken arm guy or dart stabby guy?
Probably Dart Stabby guy.
That's
Okey-dokes.
Debbie guy.
So, if you're watching this, well, good for you, and we'll see you in 10 minutes or so. Grab something to eat. Okay, guys. Stare at the cameras.